Do you see that? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you see this? Type it down below and make it clean. Get your minds out of the gutter. What we're going to be talking about today is the crypto banana cycle. And quite frankly, a lot of people are going to lose their minds. I believe it starts in the next few weeks in earnest, and people are actually going to lose their minds. People are going to mortgage their homes to buy crypto, and they're going to get wrecked. Or you can make lots of money. All right. I've been through two of these. I can't wait for this one to happen. No joke. I bought a monkey outfit and a couple other props. I'm not joking. I cannot wait for this. But people need to understand how to take profits, taking profits. It's as simple as selling, paying the tax, and putting the money, taking it from your exchange account, putting it in the bank account, or paying off debt. It's going to mess with a lot of people's minds. Now, everyone's heard of the Bitcoin halving cycle, right? Type 1 if you've heard of the Bitcoin halving cycle, where you'll see, as we're getting closer to the halving cycle, people are buying the news before they sell the rumor, or buying the rumor, before they sell the news. And it's very incredible cycle that happens every single time Bitcoin goes through a halving. Well, if you look inside of that chart, right before it mellows out or turns downward for an extended period of time, usually about a year and a half, 2 years, you see this banana cycle where things just go parabolic. And before that, there's this little bit of a lull or a dip. That's what we're experiencing right now. We are in a bull run for cryptocurrencies. Now, during this banana cycle, where everything goes parabolic, you'll see Bitcoin triple or quadruple in price. That's why I still have my price target between $150,000 and $250,000 for crypto for Bitcoin. But the smaller market caps just go in completely ape poop. We'll keep it clean. And if you're wondering what do you think this is in the back of my truck, I just picked it up from Facebook Marketplace. Go ahead and try and guess what it is, and I'll let you know. All right, now, real quick before I get any farther, tomorrow's the last day for the Crypto DeFi Pro bundle, everything including the trade calls and the monthly group coaching calls. And Wednesday we are revealing our next pick, and it is, guarantee you, try and guess what it is. Actually, nobody will guess. It's something that nobody knows about. So let's talk about market caps. Let's talk about which ones move as opposed to which ones don't. So we've all heard this. It's a stupid analogy. A rising tide lifts all boats. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. A rising tide does lift all boats eventually, but it lifts the smaller boats faster than the bigger boats. And when you see Bitcoin moving, 2x, 3x, and then 4x during this banana zone, you start seeing people leveraging their homes. That's when you'll see XRP hitting $10 to $18. You'll see that, but you'll see all of these other projects that will move exponentially. They'll be 10 and 50 baggers. And a matter of fact, a lot of you got to see a 22 bagger when I told you through the newsletter on, was it end of December, when XCN was a quarter of a penny, or 0.2 of a penny, right? And it topped out at 4.6 cents. A lot of people made money. A lot of people made, 6 figures, and some made 7 figures on that trade. And that was free for the channel. And the reason why that moved exponentially is because it had a different way of people trying to buy it. It was a pretty liquid market, and but it was a small market cap. It was easier to move the needle and get that trending and get it in front of people's faces. I mean, it went from 300 on coin market cap to, I want to say at one point it was in the 50s. Point being is, all of a sudden the whole world saw it. It was on the grand stage. Well, that's why those projects move exponentially compared to Bitcoin, XRP, Cardano, things like that. And that's where you make the bulk of your money. But you have to be positioned in good projects that are actually, they have real world use cases. They got a lot of money behind them, venture capital money, and banks investing, some cool investors, an actual company with actual people and faces, right? And that's important. And then fourth most, you need the word out there. You need to find investors. Without investors, nothing goes up, right? And so all 4 of those things coming together is what I'm usually looking for, and a handful of other things to see if there's a catalyst. What's the next catalyst? What's the next project that's going to take off based off those 4 things plus a handful of others? The truth is that most people get so mesmerized by making money on the way up, they become paralyzed with fear of selling and taking a profit. Let me crack this door open. because they don't know if tomorrow it's going to go up more, and they're led by a spirit of greed. Trust me, I have dealt with this, and it took me losing everything I'd saved up and invested for twice to break myself of this. And so what I want is, I'm going to give you just a really neat way of figuring this out, a mental game that you can play with yourself that you will always win. All right. What I want you to do is, the next time you invest in a cryptocurrency, I want you to come up with the price that you would be comfortable making a certain profit in, let's say, 6 months. I'll give you an example. Right now, if you go you don't want to go trade stocks. That's not a good proposition. But average, returns in the S&P, you're looking what, between 10 and 18%, let's say, on good times. So, and that's per year. So let's say, you just sit down and you go, look, you know what? I want to beat the S&P. So let's try and double it. If I buy this crypto and I'm buying it based off of fundamentals, right? It's a real company, real use case. They're actually out there trying to advertise the project, and they're working diligently to get these the bullet points, the roadmap done. I'm going to invest in it, and I want to double the S&P. So, sorry about that. Could you guys hear that phone ringing? Just curious. I'm just curious if you heard it. I have my ringer on. My point being is that if you see all that and you go, all right, I'm going to invest in this project, and I want to make 30%, or 35%, twice as much as the S&P. What you do is you say, look, if at any point during this thing, this next year, if I hit 30 or 35%, I'm going to pull some off the table. Well, what do you pull off? Well, if you're happy with 35% return, you can pull the entire thing off, and you just capture the 35% return. You pay taxes on that gain. And you've heard my rules about, hey, if you double your money, pull your initial investment back. Well, this is the way I also think about it. If there's still momentum behind the project, you still believe in the project, but you want to win, and you were happy in the beginning when you first invested in it at 35%, pull 35% of your initial holdings off the table. Now that initial holding, 35% of your initial investment just came off, plus that profit. And I think that's a really neat way of doing it, because now you're segmenting into smaller wins. Not every crypto does 100, 2, 3, 400%. I'm always looking for those because I'm sort of used to that based off of my years and experience of finding specific projects and where they're at and what that next catalyst is. But for people starting out, they don't have that. Does that make sense? Type 10 if that, or type yes or no if that makes sense to you. That sort of ideological way of going about taking profits, because a lot of people don't know how to take profits and they're scared. And then another thing that happens, and we're in this banana zone where it's going to go ape crap, and people start borrowing against their home, against their cars. I'm not joking. I was just talking, I was in Chase opening up a new bank account for my new business, and he was talking about that in 2017. He goes, I can't believe how many people are coming in and mortgaging their home to buy crypto. It was scary. And how many people were wiring hundreds of thousands of dollars in a whack against their home to a cryptocurrency exchange. It was just absolutely crazy. And I said, well, it's coming again. And it's going to happen this year, because that banana craziness starts in the next few weeks. You just saw a little bit of it with Bitcoin. You're going to see it come down in the next day or two. Actually, I think it already is coming down a little bit because of a little panic in the dollar and gold. But by and large, over the next handful of weeks, you're going to see Bitcoin start taking off again. And Ethereum's going to take off, and all the large cap coins, and then the small cap coins are going to follow the altcoins, and you are going to be blown away with the rates of return. All right, just want to give you that little tip. Hopefully that helps. If you want to be a part of that group, the trading group, and know about the trade calls, all that stuff, and the group coaching calls through January, it goes up again. The sale ends tomorrow, so then it goes up again. All right, hopefully you got something out of this. The Economic Ninja is out.